the second session on presentation. The topic for this lesson is themes, animations, and transitions. We have learned how to create presentations and how to save them. We have also learned about slide basics. In this lesson, we are going to learn how to apply themes, transitions, and animations. We will learn, first of all, how to change bullet or numbering levels. Then, in this same lesson, we will learn what themes are and how to apply them. Then learn what transitions are and how to apply them. We shall also learn animations, what they are, and learn how to apply them as well. Then finally, we will learn how to run slideshows in the slideshow view mode and then in the presenter view mode. Bullet levels. To organize points into main and sub-points, you have to decide on the levels of the bullets or numbering for the points. To make a point main, you must promote its bullets or number. And if you want a point to be sub, you have to demote it. The steps for changing the bullet levels are given to us as follows. Step 1. Select the point you want to promote or demote. To demote them, click the Decrease List Level button on the paragraph group. If you click this button more, the further you demote those points. To promote them, click the Increase List Level button, also found on the paragraph group. Click anywhere to complete. Let us demonstrate this. So this is our presentation. And all these are on the same level. So this means that they are all points on their own. But if, let's say, we want to make this point a sub-point of this, and this point a sub-point of this, then we have to demote them. So in order to demote this, we select the point, and then from the Home tab, we click the Increase List Level. Once we click that, the point is demoted to a sub-level. If we need to also demote this one, we also select it. But as we said, we want this to be a sub-sub point. So we will press or click the Increase List Level twice. Once we click it twice, this has been made a sub of this sub point, which will fall under this main point. We want to make this one a sub as well. So we select it and click the increase. Then the same thing, we want to make this sub, so we click this twice. If we want this to be a main point, then we have to promote it. So we select it and click the decrease list level button. Once we click it, it is made a main point. So that is how we promote and demote points on our slides. Themes. A theme is made up of a number of formats which can be applied at the same time to a particular slide or a group of slides and their content. A theme can also be defined as a predefined combination of colors, fonts, and effects. Different themes also have different slide layouts. So it doesn't mean that if you apply one theme and you choose to apply another, the arrangement of the placeholders will be the same. No. For one's theme may organize the layout in one way different from the others. Let us look at the elements of a theme. A theme has theme color, theme font, and theme effects. For theme colors, there are 10 theme colors, along with darker and lighter variations available from the color menu. Theme fonts. There are theme fonts available at the top of the font menu under the font theme, which we will soon be learning. Theme effects. These affect the preset shape styles. That is, if we have inserted any shape or any shape or smart art into our presentation, how they would appear, or when an effect is applied, that effect only goes for those shapes on the side. It doesn't affect any other content besides the shapes. How do we apply themes? The steps are given as follows. 1. Click the Design tab on the ribbon and then locate the Themes group. 2. Click the More drop-down arrow to see all available themes. 3. Select the desired theme. And once you select it, the theme will be applied to all the slides within the presentation. Let us have a demonstration of this. Alright, so we have our presentation here. So we click the Design tab and then we click the More or Chevron button here. Now we can see all the available themes. click the preferred theme. And once you click it, the theme is applied to all your slides. Okay, so you see that how it has arranged the placeholders. Now the title placeholder is placed beneath for this theme. If we choose, let's say, this one, you see how it has arranged the placeholders. Okay, so you can choose whichever one that you prefer. To apply a different theme, simply select it from the Design tab, as we just did. You can also select a variant for that theme from the Variants group. Variants use different theme colors while preserving a theme's overall look. Let us demonstrate this. Variants here means a variation of a theme. So there are a number of variations. Okay, if I want to choose a different theme, I'll click it from the themes group. Okay. Alright. Now this group is what is known as the variant. So to choose, let's say, a different color, font and effect, we will click this. Okay, then we have the color options here, or we can just click any of the options up here. Okay, but if you don't want any of them, then we come and click the more or chevron button here. Then you have the options available. So whichever one you choose will be applied. It is a variation of the theme. Okay. If you want to choose a different font group, you can select from here. So for instance, I want this. So I'll put the pointer, after clicking this chevron, I'll put pointer on fonts and then choose the preferred set of fonts. And then it is applied to our slides. If I had placed, let's say, an object, let me try and see if I can place an object here. Okay, if I had placed an object here, then I want to apply, let's say, variation. Come to format first. Let me choose a style here. Yeah. Okay. Come back to design. We will look at these in more detail. So if, let's say, I choose this. Alright. Okay, so that is how we apply variants or a variation of themes to our presentation. Transitions. Transitions are motion or visual effects that occur in the slideshow view when you move from one slide to the next slide during a presentation. In other words, a transition is how one slide is removed from the screen and the next slide is displayed during a presentation. In simple terms, a transition is a visual effect that is applied to remove one slide from the screen and display another. So any effect that occurs within that moment is known as transition. Remember that transitions only applies to slides alone and not the contents of the slides. You are advised that you apply only one transition to your slides. Of course, you can apply several of them, but if you are making a formal presentation to a formal audience, it is not good to be using so many transitions. For consistency's sake and for the avoidance of misdirection of attention, whether for formal cases or informal cases, you should keep to one transition. For instance, if you are making a presentation to kids and you are using so many transitions, the kids' attention will not be on what you are talking about. They are rather focusing on the transition gymnastics that is being displayed on the screen. How do we apply transitions? The steps are given to us as follows. 1. Select the slide you want to add a transition to. 2. Click the Transitions tab. 3. Click the More button on the Transitions gallery. 4. Click a preferred transition. 5. Click the Effects Options button. 6. Click the preferred effect to select direction and nature of transition. 7. Click Preview to see what the transition looks like. This is optional. And 8. To apply selected transition to all the slides, click Apply to All. This is also optional. So actually, it ends at 4. But if you want variations of the transitions or how the transition effect should occur, and if it should apply to all the slides at a go, then you follow steps 5 to 7. But for examination purposes, if you write up to point 4, you should be marked correct. Let us demonstrate this. To apply a transition, you click the Transitions tab. You select the slide first, of course. Then you click the Transitions tab. Then you click the More button here. And over here you see that there are 3 available transitions. We have the subtle, exciting, and dynamic content. You are always advised to apply the subtle transitions. Okay, so let me apply, let's say, push up transition. Then you have noticed how it applied in the live preview that was shown to you. If you want to preview it again, you can click the preview button. Alright. Now, if you want a variant, if I may say, of this transition, you click the effect options. Then you define the direction you want your transition to flow. So let me click this one here. If I click this and I choose from top, you see how it plays out. If you want to apply this transition as we have advised to all the existing slides, click Apply to All. And you are done. Removing transitions. If we have applied a number of transitions to our slides and we want to remove them, this is what we will do. Step 1. Select the slide you want to remove the transition from. 2. Click Transitions tab. 3. Click None from the transition to this slide group. 4. To apply to all the slides, click the Apply to All command. Demonstration. We want to remove the transition from this slide. So we'll just select the slide's thumbnail from the slide navigation pane, and then from the transition tab, we click None. Once we click None, the transition is removed. If you want to remove from all the succeeding slides, we click Apply to All. Alright, but for now let me reapply it. We are done with transitions. Now let's come to animations. An animation effect is a special visual or sound effect added to a text or an object on a slide or chart. Animation or movement on the slide can be used to draw the audience attention to specific content or to make the slide easier to read. That is, if you want our audience to focus on some points, then we can use animations. Okay? So note that animations control how objects move on the screen, how objects move off the screen, and how objects move around the screen or on the slides. Keep note of this, the difference between animation and transitions. Transitions apply to the slide, but animations are applied to the contents of the slide. We are advised that animations should be used in moderation. Adding too many animations can make your presentation look a little silly and can even be distracting to your audience, as we learned under transitions. You need to consider using mostly the subtle animations, or if In other situations, you may choose not to use animations at all, as I have been doing. You notice that in my presentation, I'm not using any animation, but you may choose to use it. There are 4 types of animations, and these are entrance, emphasis, exit, and motion path animations. Entrance animations. These animations control how the object enters the slide during the slideshow. Emphasis. These animations occur while the object is on the slide, and this is often triggered by a mouse click. That is, when the object displays on the screen and you want to show emphasis on that particular object or point, then we apply the emphasis animation. But it will only trigger when we press a mouse button. Then we have the exit animation. Exit animations control how the object exits or leaves the slide. The final type of animation is motion. That is motion paths. These are similar to emphasis effects, except the object moves within the slide along a predetermined path, like a circle. So if, let's say, you want your point or your object to move on the slide during presentation, then you use the motion path animations. But as we said, this would depend on the kind of presentation that you are making. The advice mostly is to use the entrance. You can skip the rest unless they are that needful for the purpose of the presentation you are making. The steps for applying animation are given as follows. 1. Select the object you want to animate. 2. On the Animations tab, click the More drop-down arrow in the Animations group. 3. Click the preferred animation. 4. Click the Effect Options button. And then you can click the effect that you want. You can write up to step 3, and for the exam's purposes, they will mark you right. No one will fault you for leaving points 4 and 5 out. Let us demonstrate this. To apply animation to content, what we do is we select that content's placeholder. Okay? Then we click the Animations tab. Then we have a number of animation options in this animation group. But to see all the animations available, you click the More button. So we have the entrance, emphasis, exit, and then we have the motion paths also there. So we will choose the preferred animation. So let's say I want to choose flying. So I'll choose flying. Okay, let me select this one and also choose flying. Now I have applied animation to these, and I believe you saw the live preview. If you didn't see, you can click this button here, preview button, and then it will preview again for you. If you want to change the animation effects, you click the effects button and you are given the various directions by which the animation can be applied. So let's say I'll choose left. Let me do same with this one. Let's also choose left. Okay. I want to apply animations to this, so I'll click this thumbnail for the second slide, choose the placeholder. Let me apply, let's say, random bars to the first, and then that is for the titles, and then for the content, let me apply flying. Alright, now we can copy animations that we have applied to from one slide to another slide. To copy an animation applied, you click the object that the animation was applied to, and then you click the animations painter button. If you click it once, it means you are going to apply it to just one object. So I'll click the second, then I'll apply it to this object. But if, let's say, I want to apply it to more than one object on different slides, then I have to double click the animation painter. Okay, so I'm double clicking. So now I can go to each of the slides and apply them. Okay, then when you are done applying to all the placeholders that you want to, you press the escape key on your keyboard. Let me apply this one as well. So I'll double click the animation applied to this. I'll also double click this, then go to each of the slides and apply them. Okay. So I'm clicking and applying to each of the placeholders that I want the animation to be applied to. Okay, I'm done, so I'll press the escape key. The object will have a small number next to it to show that it has been applied with an animation. In the slide pane, a star symbol will also appear next to the slide. So when you see a star symbol beside a slide thumbnail on the slide navigation pane, then it means that animation has been applied to the contents of that slide. Let us look at how we can change how an animation starts. That is, if let's say we have a number of objects and contents on a slide, how each one of the animations occurs or applies from one object of the slide to the next is what we are considering here. These steps are given to us as follows. 1. Click the animation tab. 2. Click the animations pane. 3. Click the content you want to modify its animation in the animation pane. 4. Click the drop-down arrow, and once you do so, you will see 3 options on the menu that displays. These options are Start on Click, Start with Previous, and Start after Previous. With Start on Click, this will start the effect when the mouse is clicked. That is, the animation will be applied only when the mouse is clicked, or one of the keys that we shall learn is pressed. For Start with Previous, this will start the effect at the same time as the previous effect. So as the animation is occurring on an earlier point or object, at the same time it will be applying to the subsequent object or point. For Start after Previous, this will start the effect when the previous effect ends. So the moment the animation applies on a point or object that is first designated to start, then right after that one, the animation then occurs on the subsequent one. Alright, let us demonstrate this. When you come to this slide, you notice that each animated object and each point within an object, if it is a text, is assigned a number. So it means that a drawing animation or drawing slide show view, the animations will be played one after the other in the order as it has been arranged in the numbers assigned here. Now, if it means here that if you allow this to stand, it means this one will play, and then upon the next click, this one will display, then upon the next click, this one will display, through to the last. But if you want to change the order in which these points appear or start, then you select the object or item, and then you click Animation Pane. When you click it, then the animation pane displays over here. Now you can select the object. So you see that we have 2 objects here, the title and then we have the content, but you don't see all the points on the content displayed. So you click this to expand. So now you can see all the individual items. Now I can click this arrow button here, and then we have the options. Do I want it to remain on start on click, or do I want it to start with previous? So let's say if I say start with previous, it means all of them will display together. If I choose this one and I say start on click, then it means it will be given the number, and all these will come together because they are all having the same number, so they all appear together. But the advice is always to allow it to be on start on click. Okay, it's always to allow it to be on start on click. The reason being that so that if your students are observing, they will pay attention to a point and listen to the explanation. But if you display all of them together, then it means that they will be forced to read, and as they are reading the points, they are also listening to you, which may sometimes be confusing for them. Removing animations. To remove animation that has been applied to an object on the slide is quite simple. The first step is to select the small number located next to the animated object. And then after selecting it, you just press the delete key on your keyboard. Okay, once you press delete, the animation is removed. So for instance, if I want to remove the animation applied to this, I'll click this number and then press delete on my keyboard. I'll press this and delete the animation. Okay, if I want to apply animation to this one, okay, let me apply animation to this. Okay, so it's applied. Okay, so that is how we remove animations that has been applied to objects. We are done with animations. Now it is time to show our slides during the presentation. To show the slides, we have a number of steps, and they are given to us as follows. Step 1. Click the slideshow tab. 2. Choose one of these options. 1. To show from the first slide, click the From Beginning button, or you can press the F5 key button F5 key on your keyboard. To show from the present slide, that is, instead of, if you don't want it to start from the beginning, then click the From Current Slide button, or if you prefer to use keyboard shortcuts, press Shift and F5 keys. Then after you have gone into the slideshow mode, press the left mouse button to advance. That is, to move from one point to the next, and to move from one slide to the next, you press the left mouse button. If you prefer your keyboard, then you can press the down or right arrow keys. To move backwards, you can press the up arrow key or left arrow key. You can also press the enter key or the page down key to advance. To move to the previous, you can press the backspace key or the page up key. The space bar key can also be pressed to advance. Now, if you want to end the presentation at a point, either at the end or anywhere within your delivery, you press the escape key. Let us demonstrate this. So this is our presentation. To show the presentation in slideshow view or mode, we click slideshow tab. If you want the presentation or display to start from the starting slide, then we click from the beginning button. Once we do that, the slideshow begins from the first slide. Now we can press the right arrow key, and you see that when I press the right arrow key, this object that we placed here, which was animated, now displays. If I press right arrow key again, you see that the transition has been applied. You have seen the transition occur. That is when a slide is moving for another slide to display, the animation that occurs is a transition. Now, on this slide, if I press the right arrow key again, you see that the animated text displays. If I keep on pressing, okay, you see that the individual points are now displaying one upon each click. So we advise that before you go to the next point, you should have explained the previous point. Okay. If you want to go back, you press the left arrow key or up arrow key. Okay, so let's progress using the right arrow key. Alright, now to end the presentation at this point, we press the escape key on our keyboard. So we have ended the slideshow. If let's say we are on this slide and we want to begin from this slide, instead of beginning from the first slide, then we have to press or click the from current slide button, this one. And then we can keep on pressing the right arrow key and the other keys that we mentioned. Okay. Again, if you want to end, we press the escape key. The presenter view. If you are presenting your slideshow with a second display, like a projector or a bigger TV screen which you are using as a monitor, then you can use the presenter view. The presenter view gives you access to a special set of controls on your screen that the audience will not see, but it will allow you to easily reference slide notes, preview the upcoming slide, and much more. To access the presenter view, do the following. Step 1. Start your slideshow as you normally would. Step 2. Click the slide options button, and then or the ellipse that you will see, and then 3. Select the presenter view. Alternatively, you can also press the Alt F5 keys on your keyboard to start the slideshow in presenter view. A demonstration. So let's say I start from the beginning, and down here you see various options. So I'll click this ellipse button, and then I'll choose Show Presenter View. Now when I choose this, you notice that this is what will be displayed to the audience. Your audience will not see all these other parts. So over here you can be checking yourself as to the time you are spending, so that if you are not going fast, you know how to go. Okay, then you also see the time. You are able to see the next thing that will happen. So for instance, you see that this object is not here. So once we click the next, then you see that this one has displayed. Now the next activity that will happen is this. Okay, now when I click this one, now you see that it has happened, it has appeared. Now the next activity that will happen is what will display here now. If let's say we had typed some notes, then the notes would have displayed here to help us in our delivery. So if let's say we may forget something to a point, then we write the notes for that point over here. We write the notes in the normal view, and then during the presentation you will see that notes display here. So that is it for the presenter view. If you want to end the slideshow, you can click this to end it. Okay, so you see that this is where we can add the notes. Okay, if you click the notes, you see that it's gone. So let's bring it back. So click this note button here, then you can expand this and type whichever information that you want here. Okay, all right, now let's go back to the slideshow. Then let's go to the show presenter view. Now you see the notes that we made over here. All right, thank you very much for paying attention in this lesson. As I keep on saying, you need to practice whatever we are learning and read the materials that we are giving to you. We shall meet again in the next lesson. Have a great day.